Hi, and welcome to episode 39 of the Noble Character Crafts podcast. My name is Amy, and I am coming to you from eastern Nebraska, where I live on a farm with my husband and our 5 children. Today is Friday, September 7th, 2018. This is a podcast all about my life as a knitter, a crocheter, a hand dyer of yarn, and a sewist, although I haven't been sewing or crocheting in a really long time. You can find me online on Instagram and Etsy at Noble Character Crafts. You can find me on Ravelry at Noble Character. And I also have a group for this podcast on Ravelry under Noble Character Crafts Podcast. In that group, you will be able to find the show notes for this episode as well as previous episodes and several other chatter threads. So I would love it if you would join us over there. You can also get in contact with me through my email at noblecharactercrafts@yahoo.com. I am currently hosting a knit along with the ladies of the Meanwhile at the Castle podcast, Emily and Deborah. It is called the Be My Neighbor Cal, and it is for any crocheted or knitted cardigans of any size in honor of Mr. Rogers, who wore cardigans that his mother knitted for him. And it is also for any gift or charity projects that you would like to make. There is a chatter thread and a finished object thread in the Ravelry group that you can certainly head on over to and join in the conversation and enter any finished objects that you have. The knit along is going to be running at least until the end of this year. It may go longer than that. We're not quite sure yet. But you can certainly enter your finished objects, and I am going to be choosing prizes from the finished objects thread once a month. You can also, of course, head over to the Meanwhile at the Castle Ravelry group and enter their chatter and finished object threads as well. So the first podcast of each month, I'm going to be drawing a winner from the finished objects thread of the Be My Neighbor Cal. And the winner for this month is Swell Mel on Ravelry, who is Melanie. Congratulations, Melanie. And she made some tiny little sloths that she gifted to one of her friends. They're super cute. Thank you so much for joining in the Cal, and what you have won is a skein of yarn from my Etsy shop. So please head on over to noblecharactercrafts.etsy.com, and you can certainly choose any one of my colorways on any of my bases. Please just send me a message on Ravelry and let me know which colorway and base you would like to have your yarn dyed on, and I will be glad to get that ready for you as soon as possible and send that off in the mail to you. Congratulations, and continue, please, everyone, to enter your finished objects. Like I said, I'll continue to draw a prize winner at the beginning of every month throughout the run of the Cal. So please continue to join in. Also in the Ravelry group, I have opened up a thread for an Advent mini swap, and so many of you have already commented that you would like to join in, and I'm so excited about that. So I am going to continue to keep that thread open through the month of September, and then I will close it at the end of September so that I can get all of the participants organized as to who you will be swapping with. But the idea is for us to swap a mini Advent calendar with one another. Included in the Advent calendar, I would like you to have a individually wrapped package for day 1 through 24 leading up to Christmas. And in the package, I would like you to include a 10-gram mini skein of fingering weight yarn, as well as an extra goodie in that package, whether it be just a small piece of candy, a bag of tea, a little progress keeper, or some little trinket that you could include along with the package, so that every day leading up to Christmas, we would be able to open up a little goodie bag or package. And then also included with the mini Advent calendar is on the 25th day, I would like you to wrap up a 100-gram skein of yarn, fingering weight again, so that each participant can have a larger package to open on Christmas Day. So if you would be interested in joining in this Advent mini swap, I would really appreciate you joining us, and you can just head on over to the Ravelry group and check out that thread and just comment in the thread if you would like to enter, if you would like to participate. So I sure hope that a lot of you would like to join. I think it'd be fun to have a lot of people joining in, and the idea will be that you will have two people that you are partnered up with, one that you will be sending a package to, and then a different person that you will be receiving a package from. So again, head on over to the Ravelry group if you would be interested. So today is a very special episode because it is my birthday, and it just happens to be my 39th birthday on the 39th episode. So that's super cool. I thought it was such a neat way that lined up, and I wanted to celebrate with you all. So as I announced last week, I opened up a thread in the Ravelry group for a birthday giveaway, and thank you so much to everyone who entered. I wanted to give back to all of you in response to the beautiful project bag that I received from Kay of the Bead Sisters podcast. I wanted to continue to pay it forward by hosting a birthday giveaway. And so I asked all of you to enter that thread if you would like to win a birthday present from me to you. And thank you so much to everybody who entered. Please, if you haven't checked out that thread, go back and read through the comments. I asked everybody to answer the question of what have you done or received recently that was an encouragement or an act of kindness. And it was so neat to be able to read through all of those comments. So thank you all for entering. And I'd like to go ahead and announce those prizes right now as well. The first winner is number 25, who is Kathy, and she is Terracotta 2 on Ravelry. Congratulations, Kathy. You are going to be winning a skein of my hand-dyed yarn, and this is how all of my yarn arrives if any of you order from my Etsy shop. So I always include my yarn in a hand-stamped project bag like this. And the colorway is Graceful Garland. Whoa, that's really blowing out. It's overcast again today, and so I have my shades open just to get a little bit more light in here, but then of course it's easy to have bright colors like this one blow out. This is my Graceful Garland colorway. It's on my Pitter Patter base, which is a fingering weight 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it is this it's not really, well, it is a little bit bright, a bright green or light bright green base, and then it's speckled with pink and purple and some browns and some brighter green. So it's kind of a fun color combo. All of my yarn also comes with a progress keeper or stitch marker attached to it. This one is hard to see, but it's just a silver circle with a tree on it. It's cute. The second winner is Marissa, who is Rissa Dawn on Ravelry. Congratulations, Marissa. And Marissa has purchased yarn from me in the past. She is using my Night colorway, which is a solid black color, on my Twinkle Toes base, which has gold stellina. She is using that color for the border of an Afghan that she is making. And so I want to gift to you another skein of that colorway on my Twinkle Toes base, Marissa, because I do believe that you still need some more of it. So when I saw your name pop up as one of the winners, I thought, well, I'll just gift her one of those because I know that's what she needs. If you don't need any more of that, don't hesitate to let me know if you'd like a different colorway, but I thought I would just go ahead and send you a Night colorway on the Twinkle Toes base if that's what you would like. So congratulations. The last winner for my birthday giveaway is Jerry, who is OC Knitter on Ravelry. Congratulations. You have won a skein of Rolling Wood Alpaca Farm yarn in this beautiful light tan colorway. It is a DK weight, 250 yards. 100% alpaca fiber. And you will also be winning a copy of the Granny's Geraniums shawl by Lily of Nordic Stitches. She did not donate it because, as I mentioned in previous episodes, she is raising money for cancer research in honor of her grandmother. So I am going to be purchasing this pattern for you, but I wanted to continue to support Lily in raising money for cancer research. $3 of every one of her sales goes to cancer research, which is more than 50% of the proceeds. So it's a beautiful shawl. I really enjoyed making it, and I wanted to gift that pattern to you as well. So again, congratulations, Jerry, and to all of the winners, please, again, get in contact with me through Ravelry and let me know your address and everything. And I'll get all of those prizes off in the mail to you all as soon as possible. Thanks again to everybody who entered and helping me to celebrate my birthday. So I have some finished objects to share with you. And one of them is very super exciting. I'm so excited that the collaboration Afghan is completed. Doesn't it look pretty all folded up like this? I love it when I was so happy when I got it all done. I could just fold it up, and it's got such a nice feel to it. It's heavy, and it's going to be so wonderful for the person that wins it. So if you have not tuned in before, this is the 2018 collaboration Afghan. I collaborated with 48 indie yarn dyers and asked them to send me a 7-inch square that they knitted or crocheted in one of their colorways. And then I stitched them all together and knitted on a border and made this fabulous Afghan. So obviously it's too large for me to show you on the screen in full, so I will just insert a picture here. I am so happy with how it turned out. I'm so thrilled that I was able to get it done with plenty of time. This is going to be going off to Lisa, who heads up Indie Untangled, for the Indie Untangled trunk show in October, and it's going to be on display there. And the attendees of the trunk show are going to be eligible to win the Afghan. So it's a super exciting project. I had so much fun collecting all of the squares and putting them all together and making this Afghan. And I'm so happy to have it done. But I thoroughly enjoyed every stitch of working on this and the whole process. I think I first showed you the first square probably back in April. So it's been a long process of getting it put together, and I'm so pleased that it's complete now. So last time I showed you that I was working on the border, and I didn't work on anything else until I had this done. So I continued to just power through this, and the more I worked on it, obviously, the faster I got and the easier it got for me. But I did just want to show you a little bit of the border. I used my own hand-dyed yarn on my iron colorway, on my pitter patter base, again, which is the 7525. And this right here is where the two ends are joined, and I think I did a pretty good job of joining them so that it's pretty seamless. Right here is where the seam is, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think I showed you, I'm sure I showed you a corner last week, but I just love how the corners worked up. It was so much fun to work on and to stitch into each different colorway as they came along. I ended up at first I was just placing the cables as evenly as I could, but after a while I noticed a pattern that every square had about 4 cables running along the side. I did about 1, 2, 3, 4 cables across each square. So then after a while I started placing them out more strategically so that I would have an even number of cables all the way around, and I think it's pretty even. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, anyway, so you can go onto my Instagram feed if you would like to see another post of the Afghan, and then I have also tagged all of the makers on that post as well, so that you can see who made which square. I did make a mistake on Instagram. I made a second photo where I put each of the makers' names on their square, but I didn't notice until after I had posted it that Shauna's of Adelaide Cottage, her name got slipped down here to this one on that post, so her name of Adelaide Cottage is not on her square. So again, I'm sorry, Shauna, that I messed that up. I of course didn't notice it until after I'd posted it, and I wish that on Instagram you could easily go in and just edit one of the photos that you've posted, but you can't. You can edit the text that you've put up, but I don't think that there's a way to edit the photo, and I didn't want to delete it and do it all over again. So I sent Shauna a message saying, I'm so sorry I messed that up, but I'm sure she doesn't. She won't be too mad at me, hopefully. So anyway, I am just so happy again with how this turned out, and I am going to be sending this off to Lisa of Indie Untangled soon so that she can have it ready for the trunk show, and I'm just so thrilled to have it done. I just want to extend a huge thank you to all of the 48 makers that participated in this collaboration Afghan. I am so grateful for you all being willing to participate in this collaboration and taking the time out of your busy schedules to knit or crochet up a square for this project. And yeah, it's just such a neat way to see all of these beautiful indie dyers teaming up together and working together to make a beautiful project. So again, thank you so much to everybody that participated. I'm so happy to have this completed and to see where it goes to. I'm so excited to see who wins it. I'm sure that they will love it and take very good care of it, but I'm excited to see who the lucky winner is. So that will be exciting to see. All right. I do have another finished object this week. I was able to finish another one of these At Your Service knit cloths. This is number 4 of these that I have made so far. I am hoping to make at least 12 of these for Christmas presents. So it's a super simple pattern that is very fun to work up. I'm really enjoying this pattern. It is a free pattern from Yarnspirations. It uses cotton yarn, worsted weight cotton yarn. I used US size 6 needles and got a gauge of 16 stitches to 4 inches, which is a little bit different than what the pattern calls for. So I cast on only 45 stitches instead of 49 as the pattern calls for. The body of the cloth is knit in seed stitch, which adds a really nice texture. You know, if somebody did want to use it for any kind of scrubbing or anything, it would be a really nice texture for that. But it does have this nice hanging piece on it, so that's fun. I did look it up, and I think this colorway is Blueberry from Peaches and Cream. And this one I think is called Seaside Stripes, also from Peaches and Cream. So I highly recommend this pattern. I think they're so cute and fun and easy to work up. So as I've said before, this is now my travel knitting. I just have one of these on the go at all times. I just cast this off yesterday and I haven't, or bound it off yesterday, and I haven't cast on a new one yet, but I will do that probably today so that I have one ready to go. Okay, on to works in progress. So as soon as I finished the collaboration Afghan, I was so anxious to pick up the project that is in this bag. This is a me-made bag. I made this using the Easy Drawstring tutorial by Erica Arndt on YouTube, which I highly recommend you checking out. And in here is my V-back tee, which is a beautiful pattern by Jamie Hoffman, who is known as Knitosophy on Instagram. And I am just itching to get this done with the hopes that I will be able to wear it before it is way too cold. But I don't know, it's pretty chilly already here. Maybe we'll probably get some more warmer days. So hopefully I'll be able to get this done before winter, but we'll see. So I have I've been really enjoying working on this. I just, have only had, I think I finished the Afghan on Wednesday evening, so I only had yesterday to work on this really. But here is the stitch marker from where I was last time I showed it to you all. So I have been able to work about 3 inches there. And I'm just enjoying this so much. I'm so pleased with how it's working up. I think it's going to be so pretty. I'm really happy with it. So it is a tee, as I mentioned, so it just has real short sleeves. And it has this beautiful V shape to it. So it's called the V-back tee. So it's intended to be worn with this in the back and this as the front, but of course it is reversible. So many people have chosen to wear it with the V in the front as well, which I think is such a fun option to have. It does have this faded idea to it. She only used, in the original pattern, she only uses 5 colors. I am using, I believe, 10 different colorways. I'm using a lot of scraps and minis and striping them in here as best as I can. So a lot of them are my own hand-dyed yarn, but there's a few other ones. So this top one is a one-of-a-kind, my hand-dyed yarn. The bright green here is a spearmint colorway from Emmy Couture yarns. And then I've got a light teal skein, mini skein that I striped in here, which was from Sheepwrecked Yarns. This darker teal, it's not really dark, but it's a little bit darker, is my own hand-dyed yarn on my Spring Rain colorway. And then right here, you can see some stripes of a different mini, and I just dropped it on the floor. This is from Molly of a Homespun House. It's just a little mini that I had received in a swap. So I don't know the colorway for this, but it's really pretty and it's working up into my colors so well. And then I just started striping in my Fountains of the Deep colorway, which is right here. So I'm really enjoying working on this so much. It's so much fun. It's super easy right now. It's just stockinette, you know, in the round. So it's very easy. There's just a little bit of shaping with that V. You know, the V shaping has a little bit of a few extra stitches, but nothing difficult at all. So I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, hopeful that I'll be able to continue to work on this quite a bit so that I can get it done fairly quickly. That's my hope anyway. I haven't touched my Birdie Fair Isle cardigan at all this week. Like I said, I've just been working on the Afghan and then I picked this project up. So I did cast on a new project yesterday, but I've only gotten just the cast on done on it, but I will go ahead and share that with you all. It is in this beautiful bag that I received from Kay of the Bead Sisters podcast. And in here is a test knit that I am doing for Tabitha Gandy, Tabby, of the Hey Sister podcast and Hey Sister Yarn Co. She has designed this beautiful hat or cap. It's called the Gable Cap. And it has beautiful cables and bobble stitches in it. And I am so excited to test knit this for her. So I have just cast it on. I am again using my iron colorway. This is the leftovers that I had from the Double Dutch child's cardigan that I made for my friend's child. And this is on my Josephine base, which is DK weight 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I had just the perfect amount left for what was called for this pattern. So, and I thought, I know that the iron colorway shows off cables beautifully, and so I thought it would be the perfect match for this pattern. It calls for a tubular cast on, so that is all that I have done so far. But of course, if you have ever done a tubular cast on before, you know that's a little bit time consuming, so it did take me a while to complete it. But I am now complete with the cast on, and I'm ready to join it into the round and start working the ribbing. So I'm super excited to do that. I am going to switch to some 16-inch needles so I can work in the round. And yeah, I'm really excited to get working on this some more. I think it will be a pretty quick knit, so I'm excited to work on that. In the pattern, she links to a tutorial for casting on the tubular cast on using a different method than what I have done before. And it is really confusing for me. It was really confusing for me. It is a method where it's kind of like the long tail cast on method in the way that you hold the yarn, but you do like a figure 8 around the yarn in order to cast on with a 1x1 ribbing kind of thing. But it was really, really confusing for me. So instead I reverted back to the ever faithful Very Pink Knits tutorials. She has awesome tutorials on YouTube, and I have used her tutorials to learn new techniques so many times. And so I have used that before for a tubular cast on and used that again, her technique, and it is a little easier for me anyway. So that's what I did, and I recommend checking out Very Pink Knits if you haven't yet. Anyway, don't have a lot to show for that, but hopefully that will grow pretty quickly as I continue to work on it. Okay, so that's all of the projects I have to share with you this week. So yeah, the last thing I have to share with you is my shawl set. So every time I record a podcast, I like to share a set of 3 skeins of yarn from my Etsy shop that I think would work well for a shawl, a 3-skein shawl, or any kind of project that requires 3 skeins of yarn. So this is the set that I have picked for this week. I really like those together. They're kind of, I think, a little unexpected with the pink and the rusty orange color together, but I think they work so well together. So these 3 colors are my enriched colorway. I really love this color and have used it in several projects of my own. So it is just a nice tonal, deep orangish brown. Love that. This pink one is called Intelligent Heart. So it has this nice rose colored base, and then it has lots of speckles of plum, deeper red, brown, black. There's a little bit of orange in there. So it's just a nice speckledy, fun colorway. And the last colorway is my Night colorway, which is a solid black. So I thought those 3 looked nice together, kind of, again, kind of along the autumnal feel, I thought. You know, these 2 kind of remind me of Halloween, and anyway, I just thought this was a fun combo. So all of my colorways are available on all 9 of my bases at all times in my Etsy shop. So that's why I like to just share a few different colorways that I think work well together each time I record a podcast, just to give you an idea of, yeah, what works from my shop as, you know, paired together. So all right, so that is all I have for you this week. I am so excited to be celebrating my 39th birthday with you all, but unfortunately, this is about the highlight of my day. My kids are sick this week. We have had sickness going from one child to the next, and we are continuing to suffer with sickness. And so their grandma was going to come over and watch them tonight so that we could go out to eat, but we still have sickness, and so I don't want to have her come over to clean up that mess. So we are going to postpone that for a later date, but it's okay. I am a homebody, so I don't really mind having to stay home again. I'm sure that my husband will bring home supper, so at least I don't have to cook, and I have ordered some things as a birthday present for myself that should be coming in the mail today, so I'm excited to receive those things. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate you checking out this podcast, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that, as well as subscribe to this channel if you would like to. I would appreciate that so much as well. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.